There has never been a female chief of staff for a president. In fact, the title chief of staff was not used until the 50s under Eisenhower, but for all effect, that was what Missy LeHand was to FDR in his second term. Missy was a very smart and very capable person from a very humble background, but she was trusted utterly by FDR and came to exercise a tremendous amount of power in the White House. Missy had complete access to FDR and was considered by him and by Eleanor Roosevelt as a member of the family. The quality FDR prized the most in his staff was loyalty, and Missy had it in spades. She was very, very discreet. She had such trust and access to him that she was even allowed to take home movies of FDR in his wheelchair. And this is pretty astonishing. FDR operated what has been called his splendid deception on the American public. People knew he'd had polio, they knew he was disabled, but they did not really understand the extent of his disability. Missy lived in the White House on the 3rd floor. She had a suite of rooms there. And since she was over the White House switchboard, she had the rule that you never woke the president up after he went to bed without checking with her first. So when a telephone call came in the wee hours of September 1st, 1939, from Bill Bullitt, who was the ambassador to Paris, and he told her what had happened. So she was the first person to know that World War II had been sparked by Hitler's invasion. Missy not only enabled FDR to be a better president, she enabled Eleanor Roosevelt to be the modern First Lady that she became. She traveled so much that the Secret Service name for her was Rover, but she could do that because she could depend on Missy to be at the White House being her backup hostess. So whenever Eleanor was away, Missy would preside over dinners and tea parties and do all the things that she had to do as backup First Lady. She was actually very glamorous. She had a closet full of evening gowns, and she was a favorite at all the state dinners. FDR thought so highly of Missy that when she had to leave the White House due to a massive stroke that incapacitated her, he rewrote his will to leave half of the income of his estate to her and half to Eleanor, and he stipulated that that money was to be used for her medical care. He told his son James, "She did so much for me so well and for so long and asked for so little in return." Missy never knew of this gift because she died before FDR did, but he never changed his will, and it all came out when he died 9 months later.